Center for Community Arts presents Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. Act 1. Covent Garden at 11:15 p.m. Torrents of heavy summer rain. Cab whistles blowing frantically in all directions. Pedestrians running for shelter into the market and under the portico of St. Paul's Church, where there are already several people. Among them a lady and her daughter in evening dress. They are all peering out gloomily at the rain, except one man with his back turned to the rest, who seems wholly preoccupied with a notebook in which he is writing busily.
The church clock strikes the first quarter.
I'm getting chilled to the bone. What can Freddie be doing all this time? He's been gone 20 minutes.
Not so long, but he ought to have got us a cab by this.
Sorry, missus, he won't get no cab none until 11:30, when they come back after dropping their theatre fares.
But we must have a cab. We can't stand here until 11:30. It's too bad.
Well, it ain't my fault, missus.
If Freddie had a bit of gumption, he would have got one at the theatre door.
What could he have done, poor boy?
Other people got cabs. Why couldn't he?
Freddie rushes in out of the rain from the Southampton Street side and comes between them, closing a dripping umbrella. He is a young man of 20, in evening dress, very wet around the ankles.
Well, haven't you got a cab?
There's not one to be had for love or money.
Oh, Freddie, there must be one. You can't have tried.
It's too tiresome. Do you expect us to go and get one ourselves?
I tell you, they're all engaged. The rain was so sudden that nobody was prepared, and everybody had to take a cab. I've been to Charing Cross one way and nearly to Ludgate Circus the other, and they were all engaged.
Did you try Trafalgar Square?
There wasn't one at Trafalgar Square.
Did you try?
I tried as far as Charing Cross Station. Did you expect me to walk to Hammersmith?
You haven't tried at all.
You really are very helpless, Freddie. Go again, and don't come back until you have found a cab.
I shall simply get soaked for nothing.
And what about us? Are we to stand here all night in this draught with next to nothing on? You selfish pig!
Oh, very well, I'll go.
He opens his umbrella and dashes off strandwards, but comes into collision with a flower girl who is hurrying in for shelter, knocking her basket out of her hands. A blinding flash of lightning, followed instantly by a rattling peal of thunder, orchestrates the incident.
Freddie, look where you're going, dear.
Sorry.
There's manners for you. 2 bunches of violets trod into the mud.
She sits down on the plinth of the column, sorting her flowers, on the lady's right. She is not at all an attractive person. She is perhaps 18, perhaps 20, hardly older. She wears a little sailor hat of black straw that has long been exposed to the dust and soot of London, and has seldom, if ever, been brushed. Her hair needs washing rather badly. Its mousy color can hardly be natural. She wears a shoddy black coat that reaches nearly to her knees, and is shaped to her waist. She has a brown skirt with a coarse apron. Her boots are much the worse for wear. She is no doubt as clean as she can afford to be, but compared to the ladies, she is very dirty. Her features are no worse than theirs, but their condition leaves something to be desired, and she needs the services of a dentist.
How do you know my son's name is Freddie, pray?
Oh, he's your son, is he? Well, if you'd done your duty by him, as a mother should, he'd know better than to spoil a poor girl's flowers than run away without paying. Will you pay me for 'em?
Do nothing of the sort, Mother. The idea!
Please allow me, Clara. Have you any pennies?
No, I've nothing smaller than a 6pence.
I can give you change for a tanner, kind lady.
Give it to me. Now, this is for your flowers.
Thank you kindly, lady.
Make her give you the change. These things are only a penny a bunch.
Do hold your tongue, Clara. You can keep the change.
Oh, thank you, lady.
Now, tell me how you know that young gentleman's name.
I didn't.
I heard you call him by it. Don't try to deceive me.
Who's trying to deceive you? I called him Freddie or Charlie, same as you might yourself if you was talking to a stranger and wished to be pleasant.
6 pence thrown away. Really, Mama? You might have spared Freddie that.
An elderly gentleman of the amiable military type rushes into shelter and closes a dripping umbrella. He is the same plight as Freddie, very wet about the ankles. He is in evening dress with a light overcoat. He takes the place left vacant by the daughter's retirement.
Phew!
Oh, sir, is there any sign of it stopping?
I'm afraid not. It started worse than ever about 2 minutes ago.
Oh, dear.
It's worse if it's a sign it's nearly over. So cheer up, Captain, and buy a flower off a poor girl.
I'm sorry, I haven't any change.
I can give you change, Captain.
For a sovereign, I've nothing less.
Oh, darn. Oh, do buy a flower off me, Captain. I can change half a crown.
Now, don't be troublesome. There's a good girl. I really haven't any change. Stop. There's a halfpence, if that's any use to you.
Thank you, sir.
You be careful. Give him a flower for it. There's a bloke here behind taking down every blessed word you're saying.
I ain't done nothing wrong by speaking to the gentleman. I've a right to sell flowers if I keep off the curb. I'm a respectable girl, so help me, I never spoke to him except to ask him to buy a flower off me.
Oh, don't start hollering.
Who's hurting you?
Nobody's going to touch you.
What's the good of fussing?
I'll steady on.
Easy, easy. What's the row?
There's a tech taking her down.
What, him?
Yes, him over there. She took money off the gentleman.
Oh, sir, don't let him charge me. You don't know what it means to me. They'll take away my character and drive me on the streets for speaking to the gentleman.
There. Who's hurting you, you silly girl? What do you take me for?
It's all right. He's a gentleman. Look at his boots. She thought she was a copper's knock, sir.
What's a copper's knock?
It's a copper's knock, as you might say. What else would you call it? A sort of informer.
I take my Bible oath and I never said a word.
Oh, shut up. Do I look like a policeman?
Then what did you take down my words for? How do I know whether you took me down right? You just show me what you've wrote about me. What's that? That ain't proper writing. I can't read that.
I can. Cheer up, Captain. Yaw your flower off a poor gal.
It's because I called him Captain. I meant no harm. Oh, sir, don't let him lay a charge against me for a word like that.
Charge? I make no charge. Really, sir, if you are a detective, you need not begin protecting me against molestation by young women until I ask you. Anybody could see that the girl meant no harm.
Of course they could.
What business is it of yours?
You mind your own affairs.
He wants a promotion, he does.
Taking down people's words.
Girl never said a word to him.
And what harm if she did?
Nice thing, girl can't take shelter from the rain without being insulted.
You know, he ain't a tech. He's a bloomin' busybody, that's what he is. I tell you, look at his boots.
And how are all your people down in Seldesy?
Who told you my people come from Stelsey?
Never you mind, they did. How did you come to be up so far east? You were born in Lisson Grove.
Oh, what harm is there in leaving Lisson Grove? It wasn't fit for a pig to live in, and I had to pay 4 and 6 a week. Oh.
Live where you like, but stop that noise.
Come, he can't touch you. You have a right to live where you please.
Off lane, for instance. I'll have to go into the housing question with you, I would.
I'm a good girl, I am.
Do you know where I come from?
Hoxton.
Well, who said I didn't? Blimey, you know everything you do.
Ain't no coal to meddle with me, he ain't.
Of course he ain't. Don't you stand it from him. Say yes, sir. What call have you to know about people what never offered to meddle with you? Where's your warrant?
Yes, where's your warrant?
Oh, let him say what he likes. I don't want to have no truck with him.
You take us for dirt under our feet, do you? Catch you taking liberties with a gentleman.
Yes, tell him where he come from if you don't want to go fortune-telling.
Cheltenham, Harrow, Cambridge, and India.
Quite right. May I ask, sir, do you do this for your living at a music hall?
I've thought of that. Perhaps I shall someday.
He's no gentleman, he ain't, to interfere with a poor girl.
What on earth is Freddy doing? I shall get pneumonia if I stay in this draft any longer.
Earl's Court.
Will you please keep your impertinent remarks to yourself?
Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. I beg your pardon. Your mother's Epsom, unmistakably.
How very curious. I was brought up in Large Lady Park near Epsom.
What a devil of a name. Excuse me. You want a cab, do you?
Don't dare speak to me.
Oh, please, Clara. We should be ever so grateful to you, sir, if you found us a cab. Oh, thank you.
There, I knowed it was a plainclothes copper.
That ain't a police whistle, that's a sporting whistle.
He's no right to take away my character. My character's the same to me as any lady's.
I don't know whether you've noticed it, but the rain stopped about 2 minutes ago.
So it has. And why didn't you say so before? And us losing our time listening to your silliness.
I can tell where you come from. You come from Anwell Lunatic Asylum. Go back there.
Hanwell.
Thank you, teacher. So long.
Frightening people like that. How would he like it himself?
It's quite fine now, Clara. We can walk to a motorboat. Come.
But the cab! Oh, how tiresome.
Poor girl. Odd enough for her to live without being worried and chivied.
How do you do it, if I may ask?
Simply phonetics, the science of speech. That's my profession. Also my hobby. Happy is the man who can make a living by his hobby. You can an Irishman or a Yorkshireman by his brogue. I can place any man within 6 miles. I can place within London in 2. Sometimes within 2 streets.
Ought to be ashamed of himself, unmanly coward.
But is there a living in that?
Oh yes, quite a fat one. This is an age of upstarts. Men begin in Kentish Town with £80 a year and end up in Park Lane with 100,000. They want to drop Kentish Town, but they give themselves away every time they open their mouths. Now, I can teach them...
Let him mind his own business and leave a poor girl alone.
Vermin, cease this detestable boo-hooing instantly, or else seek the shelter of some other place of worship.
I've a right to be here if I like. Same as you.
A woman who utters such depressing and disgusting sounds has no right to be anywhere, no right to live. Remember that you are a human being with a soul and the divine gift of articulate speech, that your native language is the language of Shakespeare and Milton and the Bible. Don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon.
Ow!
Oh, heavens, what a sound. Ow, ow, ow!
Gone.
You see this creature with her curbstone English, the English that will keep her in the gutter to the end of her days. Well, sir, in 3 months, I could pass this girl off as a duchess at an ambassador's garden party. I could even get her a place as a lady's maid or a shop assistant, which requires better English. That's the sort of thing I do for my commercial millionairesses. And on the profits, I do genuine scientific work in phonetics, and a little as a poet on Miltonic lines.
I am myself a student of Indian dialects, and
Are you? Do you know Colonel Pickering, the author of Spoken Sanskrit?
I am Colonel Pickering. Who are you?
Henry Higgins, author of Higgins' Universal Alphabet.
I came from India to meet you.
I was going to India to meet you.
Where do you live?
27A Wimpole Street. Come and see me tomorrow.
I'm at the Carlton. Come with me now, and let's have a jaw over some supper.
Right you are.
Buy a flower, kind gentleman. I'm short for my lodging.
I really haven't any change. I'm sorry.
Liar, you said you could change a half-crown.
You ought to be stuffed with nails, you ought. Take the whole blooming basket for 6p.
The church clock strikes the second quarter.
A reminder.
Ow! Ow! Ugh.
Got one at last. Hello. Where are the two ladies that were here?
They walked to the bus when the rain stopped.
And left me with a cab on my hands. Damnation.
Never mind you, young man. I'm going home in a taxi. 8p ain't no object to me, Charlie. Angel Court, Drury Lane, round the corner of Mickle John's oil shop. Let's see how fast you can make her up it.
Well, I'm dashed.